After all this time, now you come to visit me, brother. Why? To mock.
I need your help. But I wish I could trust you.
Every film I look back and go, oh, okay, now I get it. And then I start the next one and go, oh, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. And, it's nice to be able to approach a character again and for the third time attack it in a different way with a different director and have a whole new, bag of ideas and influences and ways to approach it. I think I grew up as a person as well, as you do through time, strangely enough, and as did, and so Thor, that echoes into whatever you're doing in your work, and, it was nice to have a more mature Thor who was sort of less petulant and arrogant and teenager, as the first one it was at times, but that transition into him understanding the darker side of the throne and that responsibility and the sacrifices. It was fun to play with. There's certainly a shorthand we have from, having this been the third film we've shot together now, and you don't spend a chunk of your shooting time getting to know one another. We are able to pick up where we left off and have developed a great friendship along the way. And I don't know, from the beginning we were lucky. We just had a chemistry in the same kind of enthusiasm, and that's the relationship I look forward to, really delving into every time, is being able to ask the questions that Thor and Loki haven't really had the acute focus to do so yet. And this instance was, that was the great opportunity we had.
I love you, man.
I love you.
What makes you think you can trust me?
I don't. And you should know that when we fought each other in the past, I did so with a glimmer of hope that my brother was still in there somewhere. That hope no longer exists to protect you. You betray me, and I will kill you.
It was exciting to get to come back and work with everyone and meet people who were joining this time. And also, because Jane gets to go to Asgard this time, I was lucky enough to get to work more with Tom and to have scenes with Renee and Anthony too, who were amazing, and I just got to admire from afar. And then also just continue the fun rapport with Kat and Stella and Chris, and it was definitely a lot of laughing, maybe too much laughing on set.
It'd be interesting DVD extras on this one.
Yeah.
But yes, it was brilliant to have Natalie there and to break up some of the godly testosterone of Thor and Loki doing their thing with beautiful Jane. So yeah.
I loved working with Natalie. In the first film, Loki's aware of Jane Foster's presence and refers to her, but it was so fun to see what happens when the two share the same space. Violence, as you see.
That was from New York.
I like her. I think I went into it and I thought my first task was to darken the world and deepen it and dirty it up a little bit. I sort of felt like that was my mandate going in. And then as we started the process, I realized, oops, if we're going to darken it, if we're going to deepen it, if we're going to possibly kill off some characters that we love, we better make darn sure that it's balanced on the other side, because the key to the Marvel universe and the Marvel language that I was being assaulted by while I was making this movie, because Avengers came out while we were starting it and Iron Man 3 came out while we were finishing it, was you are screwed if you don't also keep it funny and light on its feet at the same time. So it's called The Dark World, and there's certainly dark currents in it, but yeah, the humor was critical.
It's interesting talking about the humor of the film. I saw it last week and was really surprised at the amount of humor, because I'm such a miserable I was completely excluded from any of the joy. My character was completely grounded in vengeance. He was like a maniac for revenge. The idea, I think, with Alan and Kevin was to suggest that the Dark Elves were as ancient a race as the Asgardians and had a history, which is why we gave them a language, and had a culture, but most of all they had a grudge, which they had slept on for millions of years.
You said earlier that you had to get up at 3 a.m. to put your costume on, and you were so bitter and angry by the time that was over that you just carried that out.
Yeah. My makeup call was about 3 o'clock. I was in the chair about 4 o'clock, 10 o'clock I hit the set, so I was not a happy elf.
I think Loki is defined by Thor. He's defined in opposition to him. That they are yin and yang. They are the sort of the sun and the moon. That the whole point of them is that they are in opposition, and the whole sort of I don't know, the popularity of the character has been such an amazing surprise. I'd never expected it in my wildest dreams.
Can I tell you what I love about Loki? Because we've been talking about this all morning, and it's very hard to. You have a go as well, but I don't know that it was ever the plan to have Loki in this many films, but purely to do with everything that Tom brought to the table in the first one, and how incredible he was, and the mixture of strength and villainous and mischief and vulnerability, which is such an access point. You can immediately kind of empathise with this misunderstood guy. Is why he kept, am I correct, Kevin? Why he kept bringing him back into every film. Like, I don't know that was ever the plan, but I mean, my hat goes off to Tom, and I think he's done such an incredible job in every film, and hopefully we can keep sneaking him in more somewhere.
I love you, man.